Kenya Airways has resumed flying to the Democratic Republic of Congo. Congratulations. Yeah, it's good news. Well, if they resumed flying to the Democratic Republic of Congo, that can only mean that they had stopped at a certain point, right? Great. Now let's find out, why did Kenya Airways stop flying to the Congo? All right, so basically, they stopped flying to the Congo because 2 of its employees were arrested by the military in the Congo. Well, because the 2 employees of Kenya Airways were transporting goods or shipments that didn't have documentation. The shipment was $8 million in notes. Yeah. Okay, so fellas, basically what happened was they arrested them. After arresting them, Kenya Airways asked the people in the Congo to free them. The people in the Congo said, we're not freeing them until we see the papers, for $8 million. Then Kenya Airways said, well, then we're not flying to the Congo anymore. So they stayed in the Congo for about 2 weeks until the Congolese government decided to free them. Let's get context. So the 2 employees of Kenya, one Kenyan and one Congolese national, Congolese people, were arrested and detained on April 19, 2024 by military officials in the DRC over alleged attempts to ship valuable cargo out of the country on Kenya Airways flight without fulfilling custom procedures. Now, the source said that the African cargo in question was consignment of currency notes worth $8 million. Man, just imagine, man, shipping $8 million in notes. I don't know where you do that, though. Like, can you send $8 million of notes from America to some country in Africa, or from Europe to some country in Asia? Or you have to do the digits, you gotta use computers and do the numbers. Sounds dodgy, doesn't it? It does sound dodgy. So what really happened? There is a Congolese bank named TMB. Okay, we're going to find out if it's really Congolese, because TMB Bank belongs to KCB Group that belongs to Kenya. So the Congolese bank was trying to send money to Kenya via a service provider, and the courier service provider refused to send this cargo because it needed further documentation. And after this courier refused to ship the goods, they decided to reach out to Kenya Airways, saying, listen, why don't you just ship this to Nairobi for us? TMB reached out to Kenya Airways directly to ferry the money to Nairobi and then to a further destination. But by then, the military intelligence in Kinshasa got the wind of the cargo. Somebody in Nairobi snitched out and told the military in the Congo, say, hey, they're about to send $8 million. Watch out. The informant in Nairobi had alerted the Congolese authority, claiming that the money was meant to fund opposition rebel activities. That is very scary. So we know Congo is a big country, massive country, very rich, so much good, gold, diamond, uranium, you name it, you're going to find it there. Even the stuff that you need to have your iPhone, you're going to find it from the Congo. If you have an iPhone, you need to think about the Congo. Yeah, the stuff that you need for electrical cars, Elon Musk stuff, Congo. Now, Congo is divided right now. One part is by the rebel, the other part the government. All of that is happening, most people believe it's because of the goods. So some people trying to instigate the people to fight each other so they can come and steal. How? Because if they come officially asking for the good for electronics, they're going to have to pay a lot of money to the government, a lot of money on tax. Now, why is it not best to just find some rebel groups to come and create mayhem, and then you can come in from the back door and just steal as much goods, gold, diamonds, uranium, as much as you like? Let's get back on track. So the informants told the Congolese authority that the money was supposed to be funding the opposition rebel activities. I mean, just think about it. This bank named TMB is based in the Congo, but the bank does not belong to Congo. It's a Kenyan bank because it belongs to KCB Group, which is Kenyan. And that's okay. You can do business with each other's country. That's fine. But now the authorities have found out that this bank is shipping money in cash. I mean, if you want to fund a rebel group or terrorists or criminals, what's the best way to do it? Electronically or cash? Most likely cash. We're not saying this is the purpose, we're just trying to think. After the informants told the authorities in Kinshasa were waiting for these people to come. Then they grabbed these 2 people, one was Kenyan, the other was Congolese, with the good, and they were arrested. Then Kenya Airways asked the authorities to free them. Well, we're not 100% sure whether the other one was Congolese, because some people say both of them were Kenyan, some people say one was Kenyan, the other was Congolese. But anyway, it doesn't make a difference. Kenya Airways asked the authorities of Congo to free these people. The authority refused because they wanted a thorough investigation. Why does the bank want to send cash to an airplane? Why? Kenya Airways said they were not involved, they know nothing about the story, they would not ship any money that is not documentation, which makes sense, absolutely. Kenya Airways said it had not accepted money, while the bank says the cargo in question was banknotes being returned to the source because they were no longer suitable for circulation, meaning the notes were not good enough. I mean, if the notes are not good enough anymore, are they still worth $8 million? Now, my question is, if Kenya Airways say we don't know about that shipping, but they arrest 2 guys that work for Kenya Airways, why does Kenya Airways want them freed? And once they were not freed, Kenya Airways stopped flying to the Congo. Kenya Airways must really love the employees. Anyway, let's go. The bottom line is Congolese people and Kenyans are friendly, man. I mean, whoever is doing dodgy things does not represent Kenyans or Congolese, because Kenyans and Congolese get along really, really well. And obviously, wherever you go, you're always going to find some people that love money more than they love the people. Whether there are dodgy things happening or not, we don't know about that, but I hope it's not happening. Now let's get to Togo. Yeah. Togo is a beautiful country. Here's Togo, okay? Lovely place, great culture. Voodoo, have you heard of voodoo before? Yeah, you know. Africans had their own religion before Christianity and Islam. I'm just saying, you know, don't shoot the messenger. I'm just giving you, I mean, was God listening to you before Christianity came, or God was not listening to Africans at the time? I'm just saying. So anyway, Togo is a beautiful place. I loved it when I went there. It was a great experience. Something really, really interesting is happening in Togo right now. So the Togolese president has signed a controversial new constitution law eliminating presidential elections. So no more presidential elections in Togo. Oh, yeah. A lot of people are not happy about that, because now you cannot look forward to the elections and go choose your president. So from now, it's not going to be people choosing their president. It's going to be the parliament. So under the new legislation, parliament will have the power to choose the president, not the people anymore. So 30-some people can choose the president over millions of people. I don't know how I feel about that. So they're going to be doing away with direct election. The election commission Saturday announced that Nyasimbe, who's the president, ruling party, had won majority seat in the West African National Parliament. Did you hear that? The president has signed a new law where people will not vote for the president anymore. No more election. Election will be held by the parliament. But in the meantime, the president has signed that document. His political party has won the majority of seats in parliament. What does that mean? So many people feel like it's dangerous, because that means whoever's got the most seats in parliament will be choosing their own president, right? So it's not the people that choose president anymore. Now listen to this. This is very interesting. Provisional results show that the ruling Union of the Republic Party won 108 seats out of 113. Dude, 108 out of 113 seats. I mean, this is like they just given you 5 seats. What are you going to do? And in parliament, that's in parliament. They win 108 out of 113 and 137 out of 179 positions in Senate. How can you beat such people? So what's about the new constitution? The new constitution will also increase the term from 5 to 6 years and introduce a single term limit. No more multiple terms, only one term, but 6 years instead of 5 years. However, the almost 20 years that Nyasimbe has already served in office will not count toward this. So Nyasimbe has been in power for 20 years already. And before him was his father that was in power also. So their family have been ruling the country for over 57 years. Eyadema Nyasimbe was his dad, and 4 Nyasimbes in power. Again, this is crazy because a lot of people are not happy about this, and a lot of people from civil society have been arrested because many people went to the street to say, no, we want to vote our president. We don't want you to choose our president. And many people were put to jail for that. I don't know how good that is. I don't think, changing presidents is necessarily good, because Gaddafi showed us he was the sole president at that time in this country, in Libya. But he did an amazing job. He was a good man. He wanted to better the country. He wanted to better everybody, give people opportunities. People that were sick could go get treatments overseas in Europe, and the government will pay for it. People who wanted to be farmers will get training for free, and trucks and machinery and lands to work. He had done a tremendous job for his people. That was Gaddafi. It wasn't democracy. There was no election. But that was Gaddafi. The thing is, if you can replicate Gaddafi for your country, maybe that's fine, if the people are okay with that. But you choosing to stay in power just because you can, I don't know how I feel about that. Let me know how you feel about this, fellas. It was a great pleasure. The two Kenyans, I don't know, Kenyan and Congolese, whatever, guys, with $8 million of notes that are not good for circulation, were arrested and then freed. And Kenya Airways had stopped flying to the Congo because those people were arrested. Now, Kenya Airways has resumed because they've been freed. How do you feel about that? Is there something dodgy on? And also, now Togo choosing to sign, finally, the parliament into power of choosing the president. No more people. God bless.